Welcome to Ask the Lawyer International Edition with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates in New York. We hope you enjoy the show, which features immigration visitors visa, starting and doing business in New York, entertainment and business visas, religious visas, and much more. Whether you are outside the U.S. or have family in New York, the number to call, share, and keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Please schedule a consultation with us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer International Edition. You have questions? We've got the answers.
Welcome to Ask the Lawyer, your premier Jamaican radio show dedicated to unraveling the complexities of the U.S. immigration system. Hosted by me, Ashley Dawkins, a proud Jamaican national, alongside esteemed New York-based immigration attorney Brian Figueroa, who brings over a quarter century of specialized experience. Together, we explore the benevolent aspects of America's immigration laws. Tune in to Ask the Lawyer for insightful guidance through the intricate world of immigration.
Yes, this is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got the answers. Whatever your legal issues or concerns, call us right now. The number to call, the number to share, and the number to keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Or you can visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. And right now, we're going to be talking about common issues that Mr. Figueroa experiences during immigration consultations. Mr. Figueroa is widely regarded as New York's #1 immigration attorney. He has over 25 years, that's a quarter of a century experience practicing immigration law, and he sees some common underlying factors when persons come in for immigration consultations, and he's going to discuss that right now. Mr. Figueroa?
Yes, Ms. Phillip, it's great to be here in the studio with you. As you said, there are a lot of common issues that immigrants feel when they immigrate to the United States of America. Currently, we have a lot of people coming across the border from the Caribbean, Africa, Latin America. People are fleeing their own homelands because of economic issues, political issues, and those issues obviously are continuous. It's not just now. This issue has been an issue of the past. So 25, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, we had a lot of people leaving Western Europe, coming to the United States, seeking asylum, seeking a new living in America. Now, most of those people may come from China, they may come from the Caribbean, Africa, Latin America. So the immigration crisis, quote unquote, the crisis is really how do we treat immigrants in the U.S. that are no longer white Western Europeans, but other peoples. America, it is projected by the year 2050, the minorities will make up the majorities. Latinos will be the #1 minority, followed by Asians, followed by African Americans, people, black people, making up almost 51 to 52% of the U.S. population. The other issue that we face where asylum issues, immigration issues is concerned is the fact that when people come here, they may not have a legitimate claim for asylum, one. Two, there's a backlog in the system, which means that it takes too long for people who come here seeking asylum to receive a work permit and a Social Security card. And if that was done as expeditiously as possible, and if those trials, those hearings were done expeditiously, it means that obviously these people could either integrate quickly or those who don't qualify for political asylum will be ordered deported. For those people who come here legally, and what you mean is they have a visa. So before Venezuelans were coming across the border, many Venezuelans, for example, will come in here on their visitor's visa, the B1, B2 visas, and they would apply for political asylum, they would apply for TPS, temporary protected status, and that kind of alleviated the problem. But those were people who obviously had resources from their home country and were not required to actually take that long walk over the Americas to come to the U.S. Some of those people have relatives here already that will integrate them into their household because families were torn apart. Others were not. They were first-time, applicants. There are many nonprofit organizations here in New York City and all over the U.S. that work with people seeking political asylum. But again, as I said, getting that work permit and social is the big issue. The Biden administration with the Trump to-be administration never really addressed these issues because it was a big political issue in Congress, so there was no political consensus, and still there isn't. So not only do we have a crisis at the border, we have a crisis in government. But the bigger problem is the crisis in government, and hopefully the presidential elections in 2024 here in the U.S. will resolve those issues. Other immigration issues that we have is very basic. When you come to the U.S. Legally and you remain here beyond the time that you were given, so when you come here, for example, on a visitor's visa, they normally give you 6 months, 3 to 6 months. If you overstay that time by a day, your visa is canceled, yes, by law. If you overstay by 6 months, and you leave the U.S. and try to return, you'll be subject to a 3-year bar. If you come to the U.S. and you overstay by 1 year, and you leave the U.S. and try to return, you're going to be subject to a 10-year bar. So most people, when they understand that legal entry is no longer valid, obviously after a day overstaying, they try to obviously move from one status to another. Within a year, if they needed political asylum, you have to file within a year of your entry in the U.S. for political asylum. After that, obviously, you're not eligible to file for political asylum if you came legally and didn't do it within a year of entering the U.S. For those who don't take that part or qualify for TPS from the various countries that there are TPS programs, and hopefully those deadlines will not pass, then the only path to legalization is through the immediate relative category. That is, if you're married to a U.S. citizen and your spouse is petitioning for you, if you're under 21 and your parents, U.S. citizens, are petitioning for you, or if you're a child petitioning for a parent. As long as you came to the U.S. legally in any of these categories, i.e. not across the border, then the immediate relative category is available to you. Ms. Phillip?
Yes, Mr. Figaro. And what about persons who come here to the U.S., they legalize and they have, family back home, and they don't take the necessary steps or as soon as they're able to get their kids to come to America to live with them?
Right, so basically, those are extended family, not immediate relatives. Those are brother-sister petitions or petitions for children that may be married, petition for parents that are overseas, which is the immediate relative category, but the parents may not be in the U.S. And then they have the issue of, people who have children, someone petitioned for them, a family member, and their children age out, meaning they are past 21 and they no longer qualify to get that green card from the original petition. In those situations, obviously, understanding the various deadlines, and you get that through the Visa Bulletin Board with USCIS. It tells you the various categories in terms of how long it will take. And obviously, a family member petitioning for you doesn't mean that you start selling your home or getting ready to leave the country that you live in, because there are backlogs in those areas also. So, for example, brother-sister petitions, most countries it takes about 12 years. If you're from China, if you're from the Philippines, it's 25 years. Yes, brother-sister petitions, 25 years or 12 years. But it depends on where in the world you live. Why? Because quotas are allocated to different countries. So the whole process of understanding priority dates, understanding how long these petitions take, a alerted counsel need to be guiding their clients as to what their families can and cannot do in terms of those petitions that have been done for them. Ms. Phillip?
Thank you so much, Mr. Figaro. Remember, this is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions, we've got the answers. The number to call, the number to share, and the number to keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Or you can visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.
The United States is consistently ranked among the best internationally for its competitiveness. Are you planning to start a new business or branch of your business in New York? Attend our Chamber Coalition's 5-week webinar series, Small Business Sense Bootcamp. We provide education and business preparation for small business owners and startups. Learn the basics of business planning, how to finance your business, business credit, marketing, and social media strategies, small business solutions, legal, tax, accounting, banking, and insurance, and how to do business within New York City, New York State, and corporations. Register at startupsbootcamp.eventbrite.com.
Are you interested in investing in real property, a home, or investment property in New York or other states? Then Equity Smart Realty Inc. can work with you. From potential returns to portfolio diversification, buying international property comes with its perks, but it's also a complex process, and there are tax matters to consider. Equity Smart Realty Inc. can help you purchase real estate in New York. We have the knowledge you need to simplify the process. Ready to discuss your options? Schedule a consultation on this matter, or start a business, or a branch of your business at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us, or call 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845.
Divorce, separation, support, custody. The common factor? They keep you up at night. Sleep well knowing that you have the law firm of Figaro and Associates on your side through this difficult time. Don't divorce your money. Don't divorce your children. Divorce your spouse. Whether it's a contested or uncontested divorce, the law firm of Figaro and Associates will guide you through every step of the process. From child custody to property and debt concerns, the law firm of Figaro and Associates has the experience and expertise in handling cases involving significant assets and complicated issues. A divorce can be one of the most unpleasant experiences a person ever has to go through. Don't do it alone. Stop the sleepless nights and call the law firm of Figaro and Associates, 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845, or visit 311divorce.com. That's 311divorce.com. At the law firm of Figaro and Associates, a divorce is not the end, it's a new beginning.
Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figaro and Associates. For a consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.
Hello, my name is Mary Campbell, legal assistant at the law firm of Figaro and Associates, and your presenter with this week's immigration news. We begin with migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard closer to getting victim visas. Many of the migrants who were sent to Martha's Vineyard by Florida Gov. Ron DeSantis in 2022 have cleared a significant hurdle in their efforts to obtain visas for people considered victims of crime. The documents will allow migrants to apply for work authorization and protect them from deportation during the processing of their application because they are victims of a possible crime. Adriana LaFaelle, managing attorney at the American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts, said some of the 9 migrants the ACLU of Massachusetts represents also have received similar documents. It's really important that these EU visa certifications were issued because they send a message that no one is free to victimize people just because they're at their most vulnerable, said LaFaelle. Newly arrived immigrants have the protections of the law. President Biden, as you visit Tampa, please consider extending TPS status to U.S. Haitians. The Biden administration needs to extend and redesignate temporary protected status, TPS, for Haitians in South Florida and across the United States. It is the right thing to do, as the current horrific conditions in Haiti clearly fit the law's guidelines. TPS extension and redesignation are also the right thing to do because Haiti's crises are the result of persistent United States support for the corrupt, repressive regimes that have dismantled Haiti's democracy over the past 12 years. Anguish and fear in Florida amid rising anti-immigrant sentiment. In May 2023, a new law was signed into law by Governor and then presidential candidate Ron DeSantis. It's considered one of the toughest immigration laws in the country. Among other things, SB 1718 penalizes employers from using undocumented labor, prohibits undocumented people from having driver's licenses, and defines giving an undocumented person a ride into the state of Florida as human smuggling. It also requires hospitals to include questions about immigration status. The result has been a flight of immigrants leaving the state, and many who stayed behind say it has led to a terrifying rise in anti-immigrant sentiment. Florida has for decades been synonymous with Latin American immigration. Around 1 out of 5 people in Florida is foreign-born. Close to 1 million are undocumented. Yes, the majority of Americans care about the border, and they also support pro-immigrant actions. The drumbeat for pro-immigrant affirmative relief is growing louder. As we highlighted earlier this week, the Biden administration is exploring executive actions to grant legal status and work permits to some long-settled undocumented immigrants, including those married to American citizens. The momentum behind this vision is driven by American families facing the barriers erected by our unforgiving and out-of-date immigration system, and is backed by an array of policy experts and advocates, as well as key political observers underscoring the benefit to President Biden's political prospects. As the ACLU's chief political and advocacy officer noted, it's not just good policy, it's good politics. Recent polling shows that 2/3 of voters in swing states support expanding work permits for undocumented immigrants, including long-term workers, farm workers, dreamers without DACA, and spouses of U.S. citizens. Meanwhile, in New York, a Brooklyn man is targeting recently arrived migrants and allegedly taking their wages. Francisco Giron has been accused of stealing workers' wages for nearly a decade. More than a dozen migrants who came to New York recently told Documented he owes them money. State records show that Giron's pattern of alleged wage theft has existed for nearly a decade, as several former workers have accused him of stealing their wages, and Giron and the companies associated with his name owe tens of thousands of dollars to workers and the state from as far back as 2015. Migrants and advocates brace for new rules governing shelter spots. Any adult migrant without children seeking shelter will soon be warned they will only get one 30-day stay, which can be extended under extenuating circumstances. Extension requests will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis, officials have said, and if one isn't granted, adult migrants could be booted from city shelters permanently, with the first eviction slated for the second half of May. Migrants may also appeal for a shelter extension if they can prove they made significant efforts to leave the shelter system, although it is not yet clear who those two criteria will be implemented together. Kayla Mamalak, a spokesperson for City Hall, said the new system will kick in the next few days, though the process thus far has been subject to delays. Migrant men allege Grabba sweatshop stole their earnings in new complaint. Weeks after the city exposed a Brooklyn sweatshop where women say they got sick processing tobacco sold in local smoke shops, two former workers at a Queens hot ed Grabba factory filed wage theft complaints with the state. Two Ecuadorian migrants working in a Queens factory packaging loose Grabba tobacco sold by a popular New York-based treat brand have filed wage theft complaints to the state labor department, alleging thousands of dollars of unpaid labor and overtime. The complaint against Hot Ed Grabba LLC comes weeks after women in a Brooklyn factory filed papers against the company with the New York State Department of Labor and the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration, alleging wage theft and dangerous working conditions. Advocates. Adams' budget doesn't go far enough in restoring funding to support immigrant New Yorkers. Murida Wade, President and CEO, New York Immigration Coalition. Although Mayor Adams is willing to acknowledge contributions immigrant communities have made to our city, he consistently chooses short-sighted fiscal policies that will impoverish and divide us. Citing the efficacy of his 30- and 60-day shelter limits, Adams callously took an out-of-sight, out-of-mind position towards our newest arrivals, falsely claiming reducing headcount had no negative impact on the families in need. It's this kind of penny-wise and pound-foolish planning that will lead to more people living on the streets and more kids missing school. Our city needs to invest in permanent housing to help families on the road to self-sufficiency by expanding city AEPS housing vouchers to New Yorkers regardless of immigration status. We call on the city to continue to build on the restorations in the executive budget for language access, early childhood education, and secure continuing funding for key programs that serve our communities. In other news, DACA renewal delays forcing Hadestown actor to temporarily leave show highlights continued need to pass permanent relief. The recent saga around actor J. Antonio Rodriguez's abrupt departure from his hit musical production shines an important light on the continued need for permanent relief for 600,000 immigrants protected by the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals (DACA) program. Last month, Rodriguez had to withdraw from the Hadestown musical, which is currently touring the country and features the actor in a leading role. But this was no standard departure, as Playbill noted. Rodriguez's authorization to work had expired following months of processing delays, forcing him to temporarily pull out from the show. He is not alone, Playbill continued. It's been reported that due to the current backlog of immigration cases, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has delayed processing DACA applications, the report said. The agency has reported that renewals are being processed at an average rate of 2 months, though reports of longer wait times are increasing. Finally, data snapshot: Middle Eastern and North African immigrants. The White House Office of Management and Budget, OMB, recently announced its revision of the race and ethnicity question on federal surveys, including the U.S. Census, adding Middle Eastern or North African (MENA) as a new category. Arab American Heritage Month is celebrated in April. Thank you.
Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.
You are listening to Ask the Lawyer International Edition. You have questions? We've got the answers. Schedule an appointment now at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us.
Good day, good day, good day. My name is Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. You got questions? We got answers. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Immigrants, people coming to the United States of America, has occurred hundreds of years. In modern times, we have more people coming from the Caribbean, Africa, Latin America, Asia. By the year 2050, the majority of Americans will be, 51% of America will be of these groups. Yes. Doesn't mean that they're going to control wealth or they're going to get the best opportunities like white immigrants, but that is what the Census Bureau of the United States of America has predicted. Not everyone who immigrates to the United States of America run across the border. And if you have to run across the border, obviously make sure you could run quickly because, hey, it's a big issue there now. And people come here, as we know, across the border, mostly on asylum issues. Those are people who cannot get a visa to come to the U.S. Whether it is a visitor's visa, a work visa, it is very difficult to get a visa to come to the U.S. in the U.S. consulate in other countries. The criteria that they use is your income, your intent. Do you really intend to return from America, or you just want that visa to come here and stay here? So if you're coming on vacation, a B1, B2 visa, do you really want to return? How much money you have in your bank account? Have you committed any crimes? But most important, what is your intent? Are you married or single? If you're married, they will believe you're going to come back home. If you're not, they believe you may stay here. What do they use? What test do they use to determine whether or not you're going to come back to your home country? This is what they do at the various consulates, U.S. consulates throughout the world when they determine what is your intent to return. When you come here on a student visa, do you have at least 1 year's tuition and living money, for room, board, whatever, saved? How are you going to pay it in the future and currently? Who's going to make those payments? Your parents? Do they have the financial resources for it? Importantly, do you intend to return to your home country if you were to get that F1 status? Similarly, for various visas, work visas, H-1B, G visas, J visas, the alphabet, what we call them. What is your intent? Do you qualify? These are the issues that we speak about when we consult with persons outside the United States of America. So yes, we do give consultations before they go to the U.S. consulate. Why? Because you have to be guided correctly in order to qualify for these visas. We also give you handouts, i.e. talking points that you need to look at, you need to read, and need to discuss with us during the consultation. These consultations can be scheduled at the law firm of Virgo & Associates website at www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. No, it's not a free consultation. And when you are prepared, and we like to have our clients prepared, whether it be immigration law, bankruptcy law, real estate transactions, matrimonial issues, personal injury, civil rights, workers' compensation, we like an educated client. Yes, the more educated the client is the better we could serve that client. And we don't expect the client to know all the questions that they need to ask, and we actually give them the questions that they should be asking us. Yes. I think we got an international call right now. Can't suspend the show, but hey. Again, my name is Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa & Associates. This is Ask the Lawyer. The number to call, the number to keep, the number to share is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. You could call, leave a message, or you will be answered immediately at that number. For those of you in other country, obviously WhatsApp is a good medium to use. You could go to the website, read some of the, the different areas of practice. Go to our immigration website, read, and schedule your consultation at www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us, and we will work with you. We have worked with many different areas of law. For example, all those teachers that come from other countries on the J visa. How long is the J visa for? What family member could come with me? What about the hardship requirements? How could you, the 2-year requirements in terms of going back to your country? What if I want to go to a H-1B visa? What are the hardship? How do we get around that 2-year requirement? Should I come on a J or a H? There are many schools in America, public and private, recruiting teachers. There are many hospitals that are short-staffed for registered nurses. How do I, get my certifications? What should I have when I come to the U.S. on those various visas is what we could discuss. Obviously, when you do the research, when you read our materials, you have a better chance of succeeding on getting those visas. And not everyone, obviously, is going to be looking after your interests. When you call for a consultation and when you work with the law firm of Figueroa & Associates, you are our client. Not the employer, you are the employee. So we give advice that is in your best interest, not in the best interest of other organizations. Yes, and this is very important. So, as we have said earlier, whether you come in here on a P visa, the entertainer's visa, yes. Whether you come in here on the J, whether you like to do the H1B or H2B, give us a call. Schedule that consultation. Your family member here in the U.S., if you have them here, we could do a a Zoom, or we could do a conference on various lines. Again, the number to call, the number to keep, the number to share for the law firm of Figaro and Associates is 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845. Our website for the law firm Figaro and Associates, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. Thank you.
Are you interested in investing in real property, a home, or investment property in New York or other states? Then Equity Smart Realty Inc. can work with you. From potential returns to portfolio diversification, buying international property comes with its perks, but it's also a complex process, and there are tax matters to consider. Equity Smart Realty Inc. can help you purchase real estate in New York. We have the knowledge you need to simplify the process. Ready to discuss your options? Schedule a consultation on this matter, or start a business, or a branch of your business at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us, or call 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845.
Are you looking for a side hustle as an independent contractor? Are you looking to make extra cash and business opportunities? We have opportunities for graduates from our online Chambers Paralegal program to work with lawyers and other legal professionals in New York State or persons with similar qualifications. We also have opportunities for other chamber businesses in graphic arts and design, creating and updating websites in WordPress, the most popular platform, and other platforms, social media experts in the various platforms, and database experts. There is also a high demand for voiceovers, audio, and video podcast editing in the marketing field, journalists, and other professionals in the services industry who can work in the virtual world for U.S. businesses. Send your resume and a cover letter explaining why you or your business is the right fit for these partnerships to info@myiqinc.com. That's info@myiqinc.com.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, ask the lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.
Good day. This is Ashley Dawkins, immigration paralegal at the international law firm of Figaro and Associates. I have been deported. Can I return to the United States? Returning to the U.S. after deportation is a challenging process, but it's not impossible. Here are some key points. A. Deportation grounds. People are deported for various reasons, including entering the United States without permission, B. Violating immigration status terms, C. Criminal offenses leading to deportability, and D. Security-related concerns. Things to consider are A. The inadmissibility period. After deportation, individuals are inadmissible for a specified period. The length of inadmissibility depends on the reasons for removal, the number of removals, and whether they left voluntarily or after removal hearings. Some grounds of removal allow for waivers, except security-related grounds. Waivers may reduce the waiting period for re-entry, and severity of removal grounds affect waiver approval likelihood. How to get back. Form I-212 application. Individuals seeking re-entry file Form I-212 to request permission. USCIS then reviews the application and grants permission if eligible. Please note that U.S. citizens cannot be legally deported. They can return to the U.S. at any time. How to prove that you're a U.S. citizen? Determining your U.S. citizenship depends on various factors. Here are some scenarios to consider. Were you born in the U.S.? If you were born in the U.S., your birth certificate issued in the United States is proof of your citizenship. Do you have grandparents or parents born in the United States? You may be a U.S. citizen if one of your parents or grandparents was born in the United States or its territories. Additionally, if one or both of your parents became a naturalized U.S. citizen before your 18th birthday, you may also be a U.S. citizen. Naturalization. If you're a lawful permanent resident, a green card holder, you can apply for naturalization after meeting specific requirements established by Congress in the Immigration and Nationality Act. Always remember to consult a legal professional. For personalized guidance, consult with the immigration attorney or visit the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services website for detailed information. If you have been dipped and dissed and want to come back to the United States, or if you want to prevent being dipped, call us at 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Or schedule an appointment with us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got the answers.
The United States is consistently ranked among the best internationally for its competitiveness. Are you planning to start a new business or branch of your business in New York? Attend our Chamber Coalition's 5-week webinar series, Small Business Sense Bootcamp. We provide education and business preparation for small business owners and startups. Learn the basics of business planning, how to finance your business, business credit, marketing, and social media strategies, small business solutions, legal, tax, accounting, banking, and insurance, and how to do business within New York City, New York State, and corporations. Register at startupsbootcamp.eventbrite.com.
Are you interested in investing in real property, a home, or investment property in New York or other states? Then Equity Smart Realty Inc. can work with you. From potential returns to portfolio diversification, buying international property comes with its perks, but it's also a complex process, and there are tax matters to consider. Equity Smart Realty Inc. can help you purchase real estate in New York. We have the knowledge you need to simplify the process. Ready to discuss your options? Schedule a consultation on this matter, or start a business, or a branch of your business at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us, or call 855-768-8845. Again, 855-768-8845.
Divorce, separation, support, custody. The common factor? They keep you up at night. Sleep well knowing that you have the law firm of Figaro and Associates on your side through this difficult time. Don't divorce your money. Don't divorce your children. Divorce your spouse. Whether it's a contested or uncontested divorce, the law firm of Figaro and Associates will guide you through every step of the process. From child custody to property and debt concerns, the law firm of Figaro and Associates has the experience and expertise in handling cases involving significant assets and complicated issues. A divorce can be one of the most unpleasant experiences a person ever has to go through. Don't do it alone. Stop the sleepless nights and call the law firm of Figaro and Associates, 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845, or visit 311divorce.com. That's 311divorce.com. At the law firm of Figaro and Associates, a divorce is not the end, it's a new beginning.
Hey, what's up? This is Romain Virgo. Stay tuned to Ask the Lawyer. My interview is coming up next, and you don't want to miss it. Keep it locked.
Good day and a warm welcome to everyone. Today in studio with us, we have a very special guest, Romain Virgo, a Jamaican artist. Good day, Mr. Virgo. How are you? So lovely to have you with us.
Good day. Thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be here, and blessings to everybody that's listening right now.
So, Mr. Virgo, raised in St. Anne, 2007 Digicel Rising Star winner. You had your debut album, Romain Virgo, Lovesick, and now recently released The Gentleman. Tell us about Romain Virgo, his music style. Your music seemingly blends reggae with elements of R&B and soul. Can you explain how you
Yeah.
developed this unique style?
Yeah, well, I mean, you said the right things. It's like, for me, I just see my music as something that's growing over the years. When I started out, it was like strictly lovers rock feel, but nowadays, I double up a little bit in other sounds, still holding on to that, lovers rock root, and so like new sounds in terms of the instrumentation of the music kind of give what we're doing a little pop feel, especially with my latest album, The Gentleman. It's hard to even express, but it's still reggae, and just growing in that direction. Just always trying to, make sure that we appeal to everybody, people who are not so used to reggae music, or other people who are into other genres, but once they hear this new sound, it's like it will tick off something in their ears, So that's the approach nowadays with my style of music.
So, The Gentleman marks a significant point in your career. Can you share what inspired the title and how it reflects the themes explored in the album?
Yeah, well, over the years, a lot of people have seen me, in competitions that helped to propel me to, becoming an artist. So, from a young age too. So I've been singing, since like 16 in front of the Eyes of Jamaica, and choir competitions for my high school called All Together Sing. In 2006. Then in 2007, I entered a competition called Rising Stars, which is similar to American Idol. And yeah, I won that competition. And ever since then, I've just been, doing this thing called music, and just growing, to this point now where I have 4 albums out.
The album features collaborations like artists like Capleton, Jesse Royal.
Yeah.
How did these artists influence the sound and direction of the album, and what was it like working with them?
Yeah, well, most of the artists that are on well, all of them are friends of mine and people that I always wanted to work with, from a musical point of view. And so when some of the songs came about, the next thing after recording a song is always how we can take it on to the next level. And so, for example, the one with me and Masika, it was a personal song, but we believe as a team that if we get somebody on these tracks who has that same kind of power in terms of how believable, how they bring across their story in the music. It can only help the song to become a bigger song and the song to reach more ears and but overall just more powerful. And so it's the same approach with the song with Capleton, You Must Play, Jesse Royal, Bridges, and Pata Rankin. I believe, I just believe that, if we, I have a good ear for, just things that I think will work. And so when it was around that time when we were thinking of who we could choose, these are the artists I was hearing at the time, and it was such a good thing that we are all friends, and they were willing and ready to work, and it's just beautiful to see how every single song that I collaborated on the album turned out.
I think you bring up a good point of how powerful it is to have other artists that feel like a community who will work with you and help you see a vision through.
Yes, definitely. I feel like our industry needs more of that. Not just artists coming together and working together, but just somebody who is there to guide to say, well, this is a good link up. This makes sense to do. Because we can come together and we can make music, but if it's just to make music and not make something that we know will change, the entire outlook, how somebody else out there will see our industry. Like each time I do something like this, I'm thinking, of getting the reggae industry to that level that we all want to see it, from an international standpoint. So you're right. We need more of this, and it's my goal, as I go along to, collaborate with my fellow artists and to just try and see how far we can take this
Beautifully
music.
said. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
So, tracks like Been There Before and I Believe have been highlighted as key songs. What personal experiences or message did you channel into these tracks?
Well, I believe is really and truly talking about mothers who single-handedly take care of sometimes two, three, four, five kids by themselves, and well, I said single-handedly, but I mean, like, just in doing that, still find strength to overcome all the other challenges that comes with life. And it's just approaching life from a real point of view. I was saying in the song that kids like these sometimes don't grow up to love you, but you still love them and you put them first. And I'm basically saying that they will never know your worth. It is, sometimes people, even your own kids will never know your worth. But I believe that it's blessings. Blessings all over your life. It's following you. It's raining down on you. And this song is, I can relate to it because I was brought up in that kind of settings. Where my mother was, the breadwinner. She played the father role for most of my life, and so it's like writing from experience. And having Potter Rankin, just giving his story, just putting his sound to it, makes such a big difference, because the rhythm is the Afrobeat kind of rhythm. And I didn't want to just take it on all by myself, knowing that I am not used to this genre. I wanted somebody with experience to be a part of it as well. And so, hence the reason we reach out to him. And the song, Been There Before, it's really and truly my life story, where I'm coming from as a young man, growing up in a poor community, poor family. Didn't even know that I was poor, but didn't want the song to be written from just as like a sorry for kind of angle, but more so to let people know that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, you can overcome. Hence, the line in the song that says the darkest part of the night is just before daylight, which means that you're probably going through a dark time right now, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's just for you to hold on and keep on believing and pushing forward. But a change will come, basically. And Massacre told his story on that song as well in such a powerful way. And I believe that this is the reason, like, when you stay true to self, stay true to what you do in terms of the direction, anything you choose to go towards. Once you stay true to it and, stay real and sing from your heart, do it from your heart, then I feel like the effect will always be in a positive light. Everybody seems to be connecting with, especially these two songs. And I believe it's because these are some of the realest things we go through as people. No matter the kind of settings you come from, whether you're from a rich family, you've probably been through something tough, you know what I mean? And you can say, well, I've been there before, So, yeah.
So your album explores a lot of powerful and impactful themes. Can you discuss the visual and artistic elements of the album's presentation, and how do they complement the music?
Say that again.
Can you discuss the visual and artistic elements of the album's presentation and how they complement the music?
Okay, yeah. Well, everything was done by good friend of ours back in Jamaica. His name is Samo. He's the one who directed, the cover of the album, which we really like. We look at it and we sometimes say, like, just look at the album cover is like sometimes, you're going through some of the toughest, points in life, but, there are certain morals, there are certain values, that you have of self that you'll still hold on to, even though life might knock you down. And that's what I think about every time that I remember even the shoot for that album cover, and how I was with the setting and the chair and the floor and me holding on to the rope, and that's what it means to me. That's still holding on to everything that you believe in, everything that is your strength. Even though life might knock you down. And the music videos so far, we have Driver, a music video for Driver, and a music video for Switch You On, one for Been There Before, for Good Woman. And all these videos were shot in Jamaica, 3 of them by Samo again. And, just beautiful concept, trying to, keep the whole thing youthful and vibrant as much as we possibly can. And, just always trying to look at what we do, like trying to make each visual, everything that comes with the album, for each song, like we try to outdo the next one, so our hope is that we do that each time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Romain Virgo. And where can people find you on social media and stream your music?
Well, on social media, you can find me on Instagram at Real Romain Virgo. It's the same thing for X, same thing for TikTok at Real Romain Virgo. That's RealRomain Virgo. And as for my music, you can find it on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, just about everywhere that you can stream music, you can definitely find it, and that's it basically.
Thank you so much, Mr. Romain Virgo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do you want to be a paralegal? Or are you planning to go to law school? Our Chamber Coalition's online paralegal program is the right program to get you started. Some of the areas of law include contracts, property law, tort liability, civil procedure, constitutional law, immigration, civil rights, estate planning, wills and trusts, and matrimonial, plus legal research and writing, legal marketing, and small business. We also use Cali, which is used in law schools, and you get extra certificates from Clio and LexisNexis. By graduating from this program, you can market yourself as a virtual paralegal for attorneys and law firms in New York State. There is a one-time fee of $550. Are you excited to learn more? Register for an orientation at www.freeparalegal.org. That's www.freeparalegal.org.
The next orientation begins on Wednesday, May 1 at 6 p.m. via Zoom.
Arle Lou Izon is a criminal, now deceased and indicted by the federal government for defrauding thousands of Grenadians. If you or a family member is a victim of Arle Lou Izon and are in deportation proceedings or any immigration matters pending in immigration court, please call the law firm of Figaro and Associates at 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.
Thank you for listening to Ask the Lawyer International Edition with attorney Brian Figaro of the law firm Figaro and Associates in New York. We hope you enjoyed the show, which featured immigration visitors visa, starting and doing business in New York, entertainment and business visas, religious visas, and much more. Whether you are outside the U.S. or have family in New York, the number to call, share, and keep is 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. Please schedule a consultation with us at www.askthelawyer.us. That's www.askthelawyer.us. This is Ask the Lawyer, International Edition. You have questions? We've got the answers.